Hello, this is Christian Semlich here, founder of the Leadership Academy for Women. And today I want to do a very practical exercise or explanation, how you want to call it, depending if you saw the picture that I posted on Facebook yesterday or not. But you will see what it's all about. It's about social conditioning. And we are often unaware. Sometimes we realize something's wrong with a picture, with an advertisement, or with a movie. And sometimes we don't even realize because social conditioning, which happens for men as well as for women, usually starts at day one, if not even before, and still endures. And you can see that in advertisements, you can see that in movies, in small things, how people behave in movies, but also in real life. And I found by accident in LinkedIn a few days ago an advertisement that has been up for about 3 months or so. And then they took it down. The company took it down because there was a woman who was going to court and blamed them for sexism, which is a severe thing for a company because this was an insurance company at that time, well, still is. And they didn't want to take it down, but then they realized, okay, if they don't take it down, that's going to be in the history books, and you will always find that. So they took it down and produced something different, just not to be, blamed for sexism. And I'm going to show you the picture now. That's what they did put up as an advertisement for a specific place of that company. Now, when we look at the picture, and I don't know if that was the guy's work in the middle or if that was the photographer's work. However, well, in the first moment, it looks like a well done composition for women at the right, for women at the left. And then we have the women in black, so they do not stand out. And we have the guy in blue, well, wearing something that is not really, good for his figure and for his shape. It doesn't really match. But blue stands also for sincerity and for honesty, and especially in the field of banking and insurances, blue is the color. Now, when we look at the picture a little bit closer, then we see, okay, 4 women. Now, some of them really don't feel well like standing there. Take the second woman here from the left. Look at the way she's placed her feet. Look at the way she's standing there, protecting her, um, deepest part. And although they're all kind of smiling, there is no real smile in there. No real smile. So it's social smile, which means nothing. There are 2 women who feel kind of comfortable. It's the women who are here on the left and the second woman from the right. They feel kind of comfortable the way they're standing here. All of them in black. So none of them has been allowed to stand out because it was the guy's show. And as I often call it, it's a man's world, or it is a male dominated world. What we see here clearly. Something I want to draw your attention to is look at the way, especially women, are placing their feet or how they're standing. There's not one of them standing on both feet with, balanced the way where the weight is balanced on both feet. All of them have their feet together. Might be a typical behavior when they're wearing short skirts, and some of them, especially on the right side, wearing short skirts, which in the business area is usually not likely to be seen. Shouldn't do that. So as a woman, if you work in the business area, okay, if you want to have your skirt shortly above your knee, okay, but not less. So we see that all of them, this is a very typical kind of behavior and standing way that women have. So you never can have a balanced stand. You never can have a stand of power when you're standing on one foot. By the way, the guy is also standing on one foot. Well, this is intentionally. They don't want to have a person standing in front of you on both feet. Sounds or might look a little bit intimidating. But in fact, this one is also kind of almost falling back a bit. Could also be the perspective of the camera. I wasn't sure about that. But what we definitely see here is that the women are like the playgirls in the back, wearing some black, some sexy, whatever clothing, and they were his girls. And I found it right that there was a woman blaming the company for sexism, which this is. I put the picture up on Facebook and I wanted to hear some comments. There was only one woman who clearly spoke out what it was, and a second one who almost got it. And most of the other people found something strange, or yeah, could have been from the 80s or so. But that's what I mean with the blind spot. We usually, if we are not trained, we don't see that. And when you look at the advertisements, depending on which newspaper you're looking at or which whatever publication, it's a bit different. But you will see that often, where women are kind of, the decoration of the successful man. And I tell you, from my standpoint as a trainer, leadership coach for women, don't do that. You have your dignity, you have your honor. Don't do that. If you're there, be at the same level, at the same site, or not. Because you're not the play whatever person, and you're not a luxury or not an add-on or whatever. And here, this is clearly sexistic from the way the build is composed, the picture is composed. I don't know who did that. If it was the photographer, if it was coming from the person in the middle, I don't think so, because he doesn't feel comfortable either. And when you look also at the way some of the women are standing, they did not feel comfortable. Not really. I mean, yeah, we have two of them who were kind of comfortable because they felt comfortable in their skin. But the way they were standing is kind of, okay, yeah, I'm just here. As a woman, when you want to have a straight and a powerful stand, you have to have three fists in between of your ankles, which is, of course, when you're wearing short skirts, too much, of course. Then at least one, and have balance on both feet. Don't do it like what you see here. Watch yourself, because you will see that way of standing a lot of times in your behavior. That's something you can change easily by just watching yourself, how you behave, how you present when you're standing in front of other people, when you're standing or presenting in front of your peers or your bosses. How do you behave? Where do you have your hands? Are they hanging loose at your sides? Or do you try to protect parts of your body with your hands? How is your balance? How is the posture? We have no person here who is postured directly frontally to the person who is looking at the advertisement, which is intentionally, but you could also have a different, could make a different impression by changing the position, by being in front of that. We have the first woman here at the right side, right after, directly right of the man. She is almost standing in front of her. I think from the position that she must be the most important woman here on in this group, but I don't know. I don't know these people personally. So I wanted just to give you some insights of what we are doing in the Leadership Academy. And this is just a small piece, which should give you an idea of what we are going to work on and what we are looking at and how important it is that we have to change certain things. You see here now, it's a little bit late, I know. Leadership Academy for Women with the number 4.eventbrite.com. In 2 weeks, February 25 till 27, we are having a free 3-day workshop. Get your seat now.